Welcome to r/agedlikemilk, where the Trump regime are hypocrites. Who'd have thought?
How a generation who grew up in South Park got so sensitive is what I wanna know.
Watch this sensitivity definitely 1,000,000% not carry over when South Park says something they don't like.
Why is South Park going after Trump so viciously?
Maybe because he's best buds with Epstein, or a total POS. You know, or the other laundry list of incredibly bad things that he's done. But hey, why are you so sensitive, snowflake? Big part of South Park is social criticism, and it always has been, lol.
But don't socially criticize us like that. What about the femboy liberals?
Well, it's always rules for thee and not for me with these people, isn't it? Well, it's always rules for thee, but not for me. Like I said, the guy's a hypocrite, and so is his regime. They love the satire, until it lands anywhere near their own comfort zone. South Park relentlessly went after trans people in cancel culture, blowing them way out of proportion with Randy Savage as a trans athlete beating the fuck out of girls, and PC Principal not allowing anything. They're not even pushing the Trump stuff nearly as hard. The joke in that episode is how trans people don't actually do that, and if they did it, would be obvious and stupid to everyone, even liberals. Trump claims inflation is essentially gone. Oh, just like how the Epstein list is essentially gone. Yeah, 1,000,000%. The most dishonest president in American history. The claim, now inflation is essentially gone. Reality. Inflation climbs to the highest level since January, with beef prices soaring. So, inflation's gone, while also affordability's a scam. Inflation and affordability kinda go hand in hand. Is there affordability, or is there not affordability, and it's a scam? People can't even bullshit, right? I really don't know how people still believe him. Tulane, you already voted for him. Would have been real nice to prevent this by literally just telling him no. Man, if half the country just said nah the first time around, we wouldn't be stuck watching this rerun. It's like watching someone burn dinner and still letting them cook Thanksgiving. Well, one half of the country won't let go of their racism and xenophobia. I don't believe it's half, but I do believe it's definitely a good third. So there are way less of them. We all vote, we all win. Make a landslide, and Trump is ended. Only 10 days apart.
Falsely labeling non-violent people as fascist or Nazi should be treated as incitement to murder.
Definitely because Elon Musk over here is getting called a Nazi and a piece of shit because, you know, he supports and spreads propaganda that's racist and white supremacist. He supports people getting essentially disappeared without due process, fascist or Nazi. It hurts their feelings to get called that. But hey, at least they're not hypocrites, right?
The Fourth Reich. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, look, they are hypocrites. Who'd have thought? Especially from definitely insanely smart, not at all stupid man-child Elon Musk. He is not a serious person. He simply exists to sow division. He should be deported and banned from holding any position in American communications. I've always said the guy's not smart. I really think the only way he ever got in the position he is right now is by failing upwards, and also being a scumbag. His assets should be seized, and he should be deported back to South Africa with nothing. Stick him in a roadster and launch him into space, cause nobody else will take him. Yeah, I'm from South Africa and I agree. Can you just shoot him into space, please? Maybe we can cram him in with the Murdoch clan. How many illegal foreign donations will Obama collect this final week? Another scandal ignored by the liberal media. Trump trying to say that other people are corrupt? Every accusation is an admission. So on a totally unrelated note, how much has he made from definitely not bribery and corruption? The fact that his breathtaking corruption has been normalized, and the fact that the media is so complicit, is a fucking sad indictment on America. But Trump didn't happen overnight. He exists because of all America's failings and highlights how many of its citizens are truly horrible people. This should be a klaxon siren, but America's hubris and lack of self-awareness means that it will never learn. It's like my dad, who accused my mum of cheating on him, and turns out I have many half-siblings I don't know. My grandpa did it the right way by having no one suspect anything was going on until a second family showed up to the funeral. Hey chat, if you guys want to see more of this gay guy reading stuff and support what I do, you should totally like, subscribe and share, and also press that weird hype button. Apparently it does something, cause it helps a lot. Anyways, thanks for watching, and back to the video. 77 Americans conned again. I mean, it really wasn't that hard to foresee that the notorious con man and liar was conning and lying. If Kamala wins, only death and destruction await, because she is the candidate of endless wars. I'm the candidate of peace. I am peace. This was just over a year ago, and keep in mind currently he's actively missiling boats where he could capture them and supporting dictators. He's really the candidate of peace. You know, committing international crimes on a daily, and also kidnapping and disappearing people without due process, and generally wreaking havoc domestically and internationally. Yeah, really the candidate of peace. Trump slams lack of loyalty. After-pardoned Democrat says that he won't change party. Queller launched House re-election bid as Democrat days after Trump pardoned him over bribery charges. We all know that Trump wasn't slamming a lack of loyalty, he was actually slamming a lack of corruption. It's kinda crazy to think that someone that was arrested for corruption charges is not corrupt enough for Donald Trump. Yeah, still don't vote for this piece of shit. Find someone else. Crook is a crook, and we don't need them. They need us. I mean, I think it goes without saying we probably shouldn't vote for the guy that was arrested for corruption. Jessica Cisneros primaried him in 2022. She came within 200 votes of winning. Hopefully he loses his next primary. I've seen a lot of commenters who believe this guy is going to flip party allegiance once he's elected as a Democrat. Veteran detained by ICE. A veteran detained by ICE? Yeah, MAGA's really the pro-veteran ticket. I identified myself as a US citizen and a veteran, but that didn't matter. Agents smashed my window, sprayed tear gas and pepper spray into my car, dragged me out even after I complied. I was taken to a detention center and held for 3 days without charges. No phone call, no lawyer, no medical care, even though my skin burned from the chemicals. I hear more and more and more and more stories about how horribly ICE acts and see how they treat people, and then I see people still trying to justify their horrible and illegal actions. Magazina. So, how many veterans have you deported? Christy Noam. Can't wait to see that name in the Mar-a-Lago trials.
No, we haven't deported veterans.
We are now joined on Zoom by a combat veteran you deported to Korea. My wife got her citizenship in an expedited manner because she served in the army and it still took over 3 years. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Even doing it the right way is time consuming, and sometimes we'd have to go to meetings in St. Louis, 2-hour drive, sometimes Kansas City, 3.5 hours, get hotels, etc. It's time consuming and expensive. You have to take off work to make meetings, etc. Not nearly as simple as people think, even when you're getting a quicker process. No, but you don't understand. According to MAGA, the so-called right way apparently is so easy to do, even though when you do, ICE and shit will still try and deport you, or mess with you, and sometimes even just pick you up randomly, without due process, without access to a lawyer. They are arresting people, actively going through the legal process too. They never cared about legal migration. That was just a foot in the door. It's infuriating. Like that story the other day about literally pulling people out of the swearing-in ceremony. Yeah, really respects the law and the legal way.